Welcome to Brain Training.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is your teacher Asif Arif, and we are doing ICT IGCSE 0417 paper 1, the theoretical part. Today we will start 2017 May June exam variance 1, and let's start. Question number 1. Complete the following sentences using the most appropriate word from the list below. So what we have in the list, we have hard disk drive, hardware, microphone, OCR, optical character recognition or optical character reader, printer, scanner, screen, software, speaker and virus, and we have to fill it. We have 4 blanks. The physical component of computer is called hardware. The program and the data of the computer are called program and the data. Here are 2 words, program and the data. Now we have nothing else but software. Okay. Third one, the device that used to input sound. It's obvious, microphone. And the fourth one is the device used to store data is called, we have hard disk drive here only. So hard disk drive is the storage device so far we have. If we have anything else, okay, so we might be confused, but they have given only hard disk drive, so this will be the answer. Question number 2, impact and non-impact printer. So here we have some examples and we have to tick either the printer is impact or non-impact. Dot matrix printer, it has the pins, and the pin are being pressed along with the ribbon on the paper, so it causes impact. So dot matrix is basically an impact printer like typewriter. Inkjet printer, non-impact printer. Laser printer, non-impact printer. And 3D printers are also non-impact printer. Okay. So question number 3, tick whether the following statement is about internal and external memory. So true and false we have here. A portable hard drive is an example of internal memory. We know the portable are externals, so it is false. Yeah, you're right. Next question is, magnetic tape is used to store backup data. Yes, magnetic tape, you will be amazed, like magnetic tape can store data for years, like, or more. Okay, it's a long-term storage device as well, storage media, I mean. RAM, random access memory, is an internal memory. Yeah, this is true, it is internal. ROM loses its data when the power is turned off, so it means that ROM is volatile, which is not. So it is incorrect, it is false, because ROM is non-volatile. It keeps the data even when the power is off. Now question number 4, a new system has been tested before it can be implemented. A variety of the test data is used. Name the types of data. So similar type of question we have also studied in October-November exams. So let's see, we have a scenario. Name the following type of test data. So it's a type of test data, not the type of testing technique. Okay, some student might think in a different way. They thought like it's a testing technique, so it's not. It's a type of test data. Data that is outside the boundaries of acceptability. So such a data is abnormal data. So data is on the boundary of acceptability. This is extreme data. Data is not on the boundaries but within the range of acceptability, so it is normal data. And basically there are 4 types. Definitely 4th type will be the live data, data that has been used and has known outcome. So such a data is live. Okay, it's called live data. Question number 5, there are a number of health and safety issues associated with the use of computer. So here we will talk about health and safety issues. So we have two, health and safety. So let's do it. Use the maximum of 4 arrows. So you cannot draw more than 4 arrows. Tripping over loose wire. This is not an health issue. It is a safety issue. Heavy equipment falling off the table and injured people. So sometimes students get confused through injury of the people that it's an health issue. Actually, it's not a health issue. It is basically a safety issue. Now, clicking a mouse repeatedly causing RSI, repetitive strain injury. Okay, so yes, this is one of the health issue. This shows like over use of mouse, and this will cause wrist strain or any other wrist problem. Last one, overloaded loading sockets cause fire. Yeah, this is another safety issue. Okay, so 3 of these are safety and 1 is health issue. I hope you understand. Let's go to the next question. Question number 6. Validation is a way of checking data in a database. Yeah, this is true. There are 2 techniques that we use to do it. One is verification, other is validation. In validation we have check. In verification we just verify the source and double check the data. Name the most appropriate validation check that matches each description below. Okay, make sure that the data entered into the field is exactly 10 characters. You know, when we restrict the user, that user cannot enter more than 10 characters, mean that there is a length that you have to restrict. So such a check is called length check. Okay, I need not write, I think so. Next one is make sure that the number lines between 10 and 100. Like if you see, this is a range from 10 to 100. Okay, so whatever the number user will enter, it should lies in between 10 and 100. Such a check is called range check. Make sure the data entered is numeric. So here you are checking the type of data should be numeric. Okay, so you can check the character, like it should not be character, you can check the number. Okay, or you can also name it a type check, data type check. Make sure the date is entered as DD, mean days, month and years. Okay, so such a check is basically a format check in which you have to enter the date in a particular format. This check can also be a date check. Okay, so you should write both for making good impression on the examiner, that you know how to apply the date check. So you have to apply date check as well as format check. Explain the meaning of the following terms used in a document production. Although this question is not relevant to your part 1 syllabus, but I will do it because we are doing the past paper series. So we have to explain this term in the document production. So first one is Gooter. Especially we set a Gooter in a page setup in Microsoft Word. This Gooter is being set, it's like a space that you left for binding of your book or notes, whatever you are building. So the document and the booklet you are preparing, for the binding purposes you set a margin. It's a folding margin, so that when you open a page and when you use a book and you are not being distracted by the after binding there gonna be no inconvenience in changing the pages. So it's basically a margin on the left side you can set, and this is how it will work. So in a simple word, if you need to define it, you can say it's a margin placed on the fold of a book. That's it. Header. Header is the header of the page, like the top part of the page where you're supposed to write some information that you want to be shown to your reader repeatedly. Okay, for example, you see whenever you see something like right now we have page number in the header. Okay, or some information in the footer as well. So this information you will see that even in this PDF file it will go on repeatedly here as well. Okay, so header is also the same thing. The data in a header and footer you want to display it continuously. So this is the top part of the page, or a blank area where you can put the information. Window is the third one. When the last line of paragraph become the first line of a new page. So we called this line a video line. Okay, so a video is basically from the name is concerned, so this line is not just shown as the part of the paragraph, it's like a line that left paragraph. Maybe this is the logic that they named it video. Last one is wrapping. We know the text wrapping. We use it in images as well, or in a text box as well. Okay, so whenever we apply an image, we want the image should wrap the text. So it means that the text will be around the images, not on and top or below the images. I hope you understand. Let's go to the question number 8. A company is setting up a video conference. Name the 3 computer hardware devices that would be needed. It's very easy. We are talking about the video conferences. So in video conferences we need a camera, we need a microphone, we need the router. Okay, but we are talking about a router you can mention. You need a keyboard, you might need a projector. Okay, you might need an because we are talking about hardware, so we cannot say an application. You can also use remote control to change slides, or a speaker or a headphone. I told you many, you have to put only 3. Next question, the B part, same question, B part, question number 8, B part. The company could have set up a web conference rather than a video conference. Describe what is meant by a web conference. Even if the question will not be here, I will definitely describe to you what is web conference and what is video conference. As the question is of 4 marks, so you have to put at least 4 points. So I will give you something. So whenever we use web conference, there is a purpose behind it. It's a conference which you held over internet using transmission control protocol and internet protocol, TCP IP protocol. So it's like a voice over IP. Okay, and like Zoom kind of application, Microsoft meeting kind of application you use to set up such a conference. We used to teach such a conference as well. Okay, it allows you for the text communication, it allows you voice communication, it allows you video communication, and it will use your web browser. That's the reason it is called web conference, not only a video conference. Okay, when we specify it as a video conference, like apart from this question, when if the question is describe what is meant by video conference, then you will not discuss about the text conference and the voice conference. You will stick to all video components. I hope you got the point. Let's go to the question number 9. We have time, so question number 9 can be finished as well. An automatic washing machine. Let's first try to understand the scenario. So we have automatic washing machine contain a device to read RFID chips sewn into clothing. Okay, so RFID is in the clothing, and we have an automatic machine. When an item of clothing is placed in the washing machine, it is scanned. Obviously, because we are talking about in this scenario, we understand that the clothings are equipped with the RFID chips, and when we put the chips, the machine will automatically read that which type of stuff is inside the machine, and machine will set it automatically its own timing, like how to wash this particular type of fabric. Question number 9, part A. Describe how the data is read from a RFID chip. Generally, you should first understand that RFID chip basically also equipped with the antenna. Okay, when you see a chip, it's also look like a small chip inside with an antenna outside in a rectangular spring kind of shape, but in a rectangular format. So what happened actually, when the washing machine always sending the signal. So when you put the clothing, the signal is received by the radio frequency identification chips in the clothing, and the data is being read from the chip by the receiver, and that is act as a passive transponder. Okay, a passive transponder is something that just transmit the signal and does not receive anything. Okay, so this is how the data is being received, And you know RFID chips need no battery, like that is being sewn in the clothing as well. Okay, I hope you understand. If still something is missing, you can ask me. I will help you again. B part 9b. Explain the benefit of using RFID technology in the washing machine. So we know the scenario, and now we just need to explain the benefits of using it. First of all, it will help us to wash the material correctly. For example, like if you put the blanket and you set it for the hard fabric, it will definitely ruin your fabric. So so in automatic function, so the machine will automatically read like what type of fabric it is, and it will stop destroying your fabric as well. So the colored items will not be washed. For example, if machine receives something like, for example, jeans pant with your shirts, so we know that most of the jeans they leave their color, so the machine will not start unless you pull out this pant from the machine in this particular case. Third point you can mention, it will stop washing different materials together. The fourth point you can mention is it will automatically set the wash cycle. The fifth point you can put, it automatically take the surf or the detergent needed, and the amount of water as well. Okay, so the amount of water will be saved as well. So how many marks of this question is 2 marks, so you have to put only 2 points. I give you many. Question number 10. I will stop here, and in next video you will see the question number 10. Thank you so much. So in this video we will start again 2017 May June exam variance 1, and we stop at question number 9, and let's start question number 10. The city of Venus is in danger of being damaged due to rising sea levels. A new computer controlled flood defense system is being planned. The developer of the systems are using spreadsheet to model the plan. Okay, so this is a scenario. A, give 3 reasons why computer models are used to simulate the flood defense system. So we have to give them the 3 reasons why we should create a simulation system. The first thing, whenever the simulation is basically an imitation of a real life situation. Why we try to imitate a real life situation? Because the first reason is it is less expensive than experience something or try something in a real life environment, so it is cheaper. Number 2, we can quickly find the results. Okay. Number 3, it is safer than building something real and waiting for the flood and then experience it. So you can project while having a simulation system. Number 4, you can say it's very easy to build multiple possibilities in your simulation system, and you can set up your behavior in a various kind of situation. So analysis is also very easy. You can range your decisions. You can you will feel yourself ready before the flood is going to hit Venus. So these are some of the reasons. I give you, I think, 4 or 5. You can put any 3 and you will get the marks. B part, the city uses manual system. Okay, another information we have for detecting the flood water. These relies on the people watching for the rising level of water. Okay, so explain why creating a computerized system is better than using the manual system. Basically, this is a comparison, like how the computerized system is better than the manual system. But don't forget, you have to mention the scenario. You have to relate your answer with the scenario to get 4 marks. So number 1, what you should say, you can say like sensor can sense the values continuously 24/7 without tiring. It will give you more detailed data than a person standing and watching on the rising level of water. So this can be 1 point. This is how you should write it as well. Number 2, you can say it is also very much safer you know, to have a computerized system rather than putting the life of the human being in danger. For example, if there is an outbreak of flood in the midnight, or you know, after midnight, so when most of the people become lazy and sleepy, so they cannot even monitor and they cannot even give you the correct value, but somehow if you have a good sensor, they will continuously give you a detailed data, and more accurate data is a third point is as well. So the data reading frequency will be higher than using a manual system. uh, as I told you, it's continuous, it's accurate, it is you know, without tiring, and it is 24/7 ready as well. So the readiness is also be there. If such situation will happen, the computer will automatically respond to the situation which is known to the computer, I mean. So you know, the alarm system to alert the people in the community will be easy as well. It can be also automated, rather than a person announce among the society. It's easy for, like, if the system detects some flood or rising sea level which is dangerous, so there's gonna be automatic alarm, or a router can automatic router can work, and you can also give the prediction easily. I have given you many points because such a question can be of 8 marks as well. So keep in mind all these points and try to discuss in your exam if the question marks are more than 4. In this case, you just need to write 4 to 6 points related to the situation. Now next question, C part. The developer use the results of the model to choose the computer control flood defense system. Okay, it will have a barrier which can open or close. Describe the role of microprocessor in such system. Okay, so we know, like, whenever we try to you know, control this flood defense system, we have to set up some barriers. But now these barriers are controlled by microprocessors, and these barriers will control open and close automatically on the basis of the data coming from sensors. And they're gonna be an output device that will set up the barrier, and this gonna be a motor that you should keep in mind. So how the question asks us to describe the role of microprocessor, how microprocessor will work. So first of all, the microprocessor will receive the data from the sensor related to the sea level, and the microprocessor will what the microprocessor will do, it will compare the data from sensor with the preset value that we have assigned to microprocessor to check. If the data from the sensor gives the higher value than the preset value, it means the water level is higher, so the microprocessor immediately send the signals to the motor to raise the barrier, so the barrier will open, okay, I mean close, it will raise up, and when the water level become normal, so it will open the barrier again. So this is how the processor will work, this is how the processor will compare the value, and this is how the processor will give the output, and this role of processor you have to explain, okay. So this is how you will get your 5 marks as well, because you have to explain like how the input is taken, compared, and the decision is being made to open and close the barrier, and how the output is sent to actuator or motor, whatever you can explain. Next question, question number 11. Although this question is related to the practical part of your course, but let's discuss this, okay. Below is the part of a spreadsheet candidate examination grades, okay. A teacher need to create a formula to analyze these grades. There are 64 grades in the full list in the cell B6 to B69, from B6 to from here to onward, B69, which we cannot see. So here we have a data, just try to analyze the data. We have card number, we have ICT, we have totals, and we have something here or some percentages things. Let's do the first part. A. Write the most efficient formula that could be entered in the cell E6. E6 is here, yes, here. You have to put the formula to display the number of A star grades of ICT in the full list. The formula must be easy to replicate in the other grades. Okay, so what you could do, because in this case you have to find like how many A stars you have. So account is the formula that we used to use. Let me type it for you so that you can whenever you will do you can understand. So count if you can use, and you have to fix the range of the value from let me check, yeah, B6, so B6 to the last value in the above table. They have said that B69, B69, and this is the range that you have to give in the formula, and then you have to display it into D6 and bracket close. When you put this formula will function, but there is still a problem. We have to replicate it. Okay, when you replicate it, it always take the next range, which is started from this point forward. So to control this, you have to fix it. You can press the F5 button when you use Excel, or you can put the dollar sign. Where is the dollar sign? Let me check. Yeah, dollar sign here. So before the cell, you have to put the dollar sign to fix. Okay, and then you can simply replicate. So this is how you will get the 4 marks. How you will get the 4 marks? Count if 1 marks, range to mention a range. Okay, this will give you 2 marks, to fix it 3 marks, and D6 is for 4 marks. So this is how you will get the 4 marks. I hope you understand, or you can check it again. Now the B part. Teacher want to copy the formula down E15 without having to retype any of the cell. Describe how he could achieve this. In Excel, the easiest way is when you enter the formula, you just drag your cursor to this point. You know, bottom right there is a block. Initially the cursor is of white color with the black outline. When you drag your cursor on this point, it will turn into a black cursor. So simply just click and drag to the E15 and you will get the formula replicated. Just mention these 2 steps and you will get the marks. Okay, or there are many other ways you can you know, replicate the formula, but I will not discuss it here. C part of your question. Teacher needs to calculate the percentage of the student gaining A star to C grade. Like the percentage, like what is the percentage of the students who are gaining A star to C grade, and write the most efficient formula to achieve this. First check it. They have mentioned totals, like as I understand that this is not A star, there will be a number like how many A stars we have. We will get it here. Okay, so this will show us that how many A star we will have right in the front of these grades. So now we have to explain from A star to C, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, A star to C grade. So A star to C grade. This is from E6 to E9. Okay, so you will write what we need to write. Copy the formula. Okay, retype the cells. So you have to write a formula here as well. So we write sum, because we have to calculate from A star to C. So it is as we have seen, that E6 to E9 divided by sum of all, like E6 to E, I think 15. Let me check it. Yeah, 15. E15 here. Okay, the sum of all values. Oh, sorry. the sum of all values, multiply by 100. This multiply by 100 here you should write. I know that you can format the cell and you may make it percentage as well, but you should mention 100 as it will complete your percentage formula. So sum of these 4 divided by sum of all, okay, and you will get the percentage value, like how many percent of the student got A star to C grade, and how many marks? 3 marks. So this is how you will get the 3 marks. First sum 1 mark, second sum 2 marks, and the 100 3 marks. This division sign 3 marks. Okay. C part, the teacher need to calculate. Okay, this we have done. Now D part, the teacher wishes to create an appropriate chart or a graph, okay, to be placed on a separate sheet. It will show the grades and the corresponding total numbers of the student gaining those grades. Okay, describe how the teacher would achieve this. We need to select the data and draw the chart. But here in this question you have to write the steps. So how many? This is 5 marks, so you have to put your steps in detail. So you can say number 1, first select the data in the table. Like you can mention also from which cell to which cell. Okay, so let's check it, like from which cell to which cell we have. Yes, here you can see we will select the data from D5 to E15, or you can also say like from here D5 or D6, both are correct, to D16. Here till here you will select the data. Once the data is being selected, you will go and insert and you will insert the chart. There you will select the type of the chart. Third step. The fourth step, once you select the type of the chart, you can select the title. You can click on title and rename the title. Then there are many things that you can add. It's all up to you. You can add axis, like what you put on x-axis, what you will put on y-axis. You can give the grid lines. Okay, if you use bar chart or pie chart, you can also insert the picture on each pizza slice in a pie chart or in a bar. You can also put the values, add the values. You can add the legends as well. Okay, you can if you are using a pie chart, you can make a simple pie chart. You can make it a donut. You can explore the pie chart as well. So these are the ways that you can achieve. I think question number 11 is done. Let's see the next video. Okay, keep in touch with me. Thank you so much. If you have any question, put in the comments. Thank you. Welcome back. This is the third video of 2017 May-June exam variance 1. Let's discuss question number 12. The Stable Community Center has created a new database which stores the detail of each of its members. Each member can choose either swimming or tennis as an activity. The fields in the database are name, address, contact number, gender, and activity. So these are the important points that I have highlighted. Now let's see the question. When a new member arrived at the center, they need to complete the paper-based form. Design a suitable paper-based form to collect the member's detail and the activity they wish to book for. Okay, so this is like we have to draw it basically in this page that we have, and it has total 5 numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for each field you will get 1 mark. For example, a name field, so you will simply type it, name, and set up a proper space in between, and then put a field like this. Okay, so you have to draw it all. For address, the field should be a little longer, and the distance between name and the field should be equal. In a contact number, like you have to set up like with, you can separate it with the country code, but there is no need of it because all countries are different. For gender, you can use either drop down menu, so you have to draw it in a way that it should look like a drop down menu, or radio buttons you can use. For activity, you can also use radio button, but I think maybe in future the club activities are increasing, so drop down menu is a best option. But as it is a paper based form, so you have to use the you cannot use drop down menu, so here you will use the check boxes or radio buttons, okay, for this part. I hope you understand, and this is how you will get the 5 marks. If you have any question related to this, you can ask me or comment below. B part. Describe 4 changes which could be made to this paper-based form to make it into an online screen form. Okay, so now we need to convert this paper-based form into an online form. So what kind of changes? So we need to talk about the changes. As I already told you, like here on the paper you cannot use the drop-down menu. So all radio button can be changed into the drop-down menu. Like for like we have 4 options here, so let's discuss in the field. So for gender, you can use drop down menu. For activities, you can also use the drop down box or menu, you can say, or you can also set up a search button for the number and the postal code, like whenever you need it. Or you can also set up a hyperlink, okay, or forward or backward or submit button, you can use it as well. So when you write the correct name on the buttons and defining the correct field and you are explaining it, so this is how you will get the 4 marks. So you have to mention 4 changes which should be relevant to the previous form that you have built. Now question number 13. A picture is an element of a web page. Yeah, true. Name 3 other elements that could be used in a web page. We know apart from the picture, you cannot write picture here. You can write videos. You can add GIF, like moving images, animated images. You can put sound. Okay, so these are the 3 that you can mention, or text, hyperlinks. So these can also be the answer, so you can put any 3 of them and you will get the marks. A student is designing a web page about herself which she plans to publish on internet. The web page will contain a picture of herself as well on other details. Although it's not a good idea, but as it is a question, so we will take it as it is. She wants to place a picture sports.jpg on it. Okay, write the line of HTML markup to display the picture or display the word play sport if the browser cannot locate the picture. You know, in the part 1 we do not study that, but let me write it for you. The element we use is basically called image. IMG we call image, and SRC source, and inside the source we write the source, like where the picture is located. For example, let me just write a random source that the image is located somewhere here. Okay, let me use this, like on desktop, and the image name is sports.jpg. okay, so this is an image, and you can also set the ID of the image. Okay, so whatever the ID you want to put, you can put the image ID, or there are many other options like let me show you. So alternative, it is play sports image. Okay, that's it, and you just simply at the end you have to close the bracket and close the tag as well. So this is how you will get the 2 marks. So 1 mark of writing this and 1 mark of writing source. Even if you do not write this, you will still get 2 marks. So it's all up to you. You want to write alt or not, but as I suggest, you should write it. So alternative, alt is for alternative, so place both. It's alternative text that will be displayed, the image is not displayed. C. She has been advised by her teacher that she needs to be aware of e-safety. Oh, yeah, that's what I was talking about. Describe the e-safety issues that she should be aware of before she publish this web page. So safety issues, there are many safety issues like the internet anonymity and the misuse of the images and the personal details of a person. Okay, so one should be very careful while using such an images online in an open network. So what could be the possible e-safety issues that she could face? Number one, she should not put the her image, and she should not put the image of her uniform as well along with the picture. Okay, she should not display the personal details like phone number, email address. Okay, she should not give her identity, even the gender as well. Okay, and she should not share a picture that reveals something, okay, about her. She should also use the appropriate language whatever the web page she is going to build. Okay, she should be also aware by the identity theft, like someone can replicate all the information by changing the phone number. Okay, yeah, such thing is possible. And that the images can be exploited easily, and if someone have your personal detail, he can exploit so I don't want to say like, but there are many pedophiles are on internet. So to keep yourself safe from electronic pedophiles, you should not share your personal data on internet, or if something happens, you have to inform your parents directly without any hesitation, without any any fear. Okay, and whatever the data you should publish, it should be like a data that will not harm you in any way. Okay, so any 4 point you will put, you will get the 4 marks. Now go to the question number 14. Computer operating system have developed since the early computer use. Command line interface. Many computer nowadays using graphical user interface, some of which are capable of using touchscreen technologies as well. Compare and contrast command line and graphical user interface. This is a level question. If you remember, I told you that level 0, level 1, level 2 and level 3. So I will always discuss the level 3 marks. Like in this question, if you want to get a level 3 marks, so what you should do, you have to discuss the similarities between the systems and the differences between the both systems, okay, with the reasoned judgment. Okay, you should also give a conclusion in the particular, because it asks to compare and contrast. Okay, so don't forget to mention that as well. You will also, when you compare or when you put the similarity, you have to talk about both, like command line, what will happen to command line and what is happening to GUI in the same way. Okay, so all the information that you should put should be relevant, should be very clear. Okay, and it should be organized and presented in such a way that someone is reading a story about command line interface character and the GUI character, and this is how you will get 8 marks of this question, because this is 8 marks question as we have seen. So let's discuss it, like how you should write it. Like when you write the answer, you can start with the GUI command line interface by introducing the command line interface stands for CLI stands for command line interface, and graphical user interface known as like GUI stands for graphical user interface. There is a very common phrase that we say, the command line interface says to GUI, you are a wimp, because W for what? Yeah, Windows, and I for icons, and M for menus, and P for point. Okay, so this is how the graphical user interface is being explained, and in the command line you have to mention the command. In the graphical user interface, you just have to click in as a graphical area to trigger the command. In a command line, you have to write the command. So this is how you compare, and you are contrasting it as well. So I will just explain few points, and because this is very common, you can write it in your own words. Okay, I will just quickly give you some points. Number one, like user friendly. Command line is not user friendly. Graphical user is user friendly. Okay, so most commonly used, graphical user is most commonly used, and command line, like the use of command line is least now only with the professionals. Okay, in general public we use graphical user interface. There are several commands that you can just only perform in command line, but you cannot do in graphical user interface. Okay, you can also give some example like formatting, like creating the partitions and then format it. Okay, uh, nowadays in the graphical user interface you can do it as well, but you cannot create like first time format of the Windows just using the graphical user interface. Nowadays the installation is also available in the graphical user interface, but still in the old time when the command line was there, all formatting has to be done in the CLI. When the system is stuck, there are many things can be solved. When the GUI stop responding, then we go to a command line interface and try to fix the GUI issues. So this is another power of CLI over GUI. And all GUI interfaces, they also have the command line facility. Like if you put CMD on your start menu, you can easily see the command line interface. And both interface control hardwares as well as software. Both are operating system, like we have command line interface operating system, like, and also the GUI. Both type of operating systems are available in the market, but nowadays we are using only GUI. So this is how you have to mention some of the points, at least the comparative eight statements and the final. You can say like the most commonly used interface is graphical user interface, because it's very friendly, it's ease of use, and it can easily be administrated. On the other side, the command line interface is also important. There are many professional thing, like especially in terms of maintenance and repair. We used to use the command line interface to fix the machines and operating system. So this is how you will write the conclusion, and this is how you will finish it. Let's go to the next question. I think the video time is about to over, so you will watch last two questions in the next video if I'm not wrong. 16 question, yeah. So the last two questions we see in the next video. Thank you so much for today. Welcome back. This is your teacher Asif Arif, and we are doing 2017 May-June exam variance 1 of ICT. Let's start question number 15. You use a computer to do your homework. You are concerned about the health issues of using a computer. Okay. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of different methods you could use to help minimize the health problem of using computer. Okay, so we need to discuss advantages and disadvantages, like all the different methods you use, or how we can reduce the health problem. Okay, let's see. The question is of 6 marks question. You have to give at least five advantages and disadvantages. Reason conclusion will be a good idea as well. So let's discuss, like I will quickly discuss some of the advantages and disadvantages, because we have already discussed in the previous videos as well. So let's discuss it, like how you can reduce health problem using computers. If you're using CRT monitors, don't use it. You can replace it with LCD DFT monitors. So this is how you can reduce the health issue. Your eye level should be at the top of your window screen. Okay, so it would reduce the effect of screen on your eyes. You can also set your eye level above the screen as well. Okay, this will also be a good idea. Okay, like I have discussed 3 point number 4, you can take regular breaks. Number 5, use some ergonomic equipment like ergonomic mouse, ergonomic keyboard. So these are 6 points. So you can also use voice assistant. Okay, to give your command. This will give you rest and prevent RSI. RSI can also be prevented by doing some regular exercise of your arms and shoulder joints and the wrist joints. You can also set up your legs, like your thighs, with your shin, 90-degree angle, so that it will reduce your knee pains. Okay, or if it's not like 90-degree, it is more than 90-degree, then you can put something underneath your feet to make it 90-degree. So these are some of the things, but having a good knowledge of health issues is also a good idea to discuss. Like, you should know what RSI is, what are the problems, like eye strain is there, back problem is there, some carpal syndrome is there, okay, and you might have a neck problem, you might have a disc problem, you might have a bad posture problem, you might find yourself in an obese physical situation. So it's a good idea to discuss it as well. Now let's talk about disadvantages and disadvantages. We have like when your angle with your screen is not good, so it will glare, it will not give you a proper view. Number two, taking too many breaks, like whenever you need a break, you will lose your focus on work as well. So this is another problem, like it will increase your workload. Third one, these economic equipments are not cheap, they are always expensive. Fourth one, so you will become over reliant on these equipment. The fifth one, you can say, when you're using the laptop, it is very difficult to find a good angle when you are using laptop in your lap, or when you're sitting on couch or on the bed. Okay, so this is another problem that you will face. You cannot take too many breaks. Okay, as I told you, it will cause many problems and it will reduce your work time as well. So the RSI, when you overuse the computer, so RSI is there as well. Above all, it is very difficult to manage all the precautions of using ICT equipment when you start to work. So when you are in emergency condition, you damn care about these details, you start working, which is another disadvantage. Like when in emergency situation, you cannot do that. And then you just give a reasonable conclusion, like you can set an equipment in such a way that you should always sit in a proper condition, use a good chair, use an adjustable chair that will help you, that will not cause you some RSI kind of problem, back problem, that will relax you as well. So this is how you should answer and get the marks. If you still have any other question related to this particular question, you can ask, and you can ask in a comment as well. Question number 16. This is the last question, I think. Yes, sorry. Robots are being used in the mining industry to dig up minerals from under the surface of the earth. Give 3 advantages of using robot rather than human being. Such questions are very common. So in these questions, just remember that you have to refer to the situation. Like if you see the above, the first statement is the situation, a scenario. Always refer to the scenario whenever you need to answer this question. When you write the advantage in such a way that you're discussing the situation here as well. Okay, so what are the advantages of using robots? Like it is safer to use robots because when the humans are working in the mine, their chances of injury or rock fall, that chances they can be fatal and cause that. Number two, for robots to work in such a tedious kind of and hectic kind of environment is easy than using the human. Okay, so that's why sometimes we use the combination of machinery and human as well. Robots are 24/7 available. They do not take extra breaks. They are consistent. So these can be advantage in the production industry, especially in the mining industry. In a hazard conditions, like robot can adjust, like even if the extra rock fall, it can damage the robot, which is repairable. But you know that if the human parts are damaged, they are not repairable. Like to some extent it is, but most of the time it's not repairable. And if we talk about the productivity in mining industry, robots are more productive than the human being because of the nature of the task. B part, give two disadvantages of using robot than the human. So disadvantages we need to talk about, what can be the possible disadvantage. So any first disadvantage could be if something that robot cannot understand, unseen situation, and or something else is being found which is not programmed in the robot cannot respond to that particular situation, or some metal of a kind where the robot should stop work, or first research team is needed to watch the situation. So in this particular situation, robot will damn care, it will keep on working, keep on hammering and cutting the rocks, although they are important, may they cause some financial damage or the damage to the robots as well. So any change needed, we need to reprogram it. This is the first disadvantage, and the reprogramming also take time. This is the second disadvantage you can write. Cost of reprogramming is high, so that's why the cost of production will increase as well. Setting up robot in mine is also dangerous for human beings, okay, because the robot cannot control the power, because it gives a full boost capacity to mine in the mountains. But so far it's quite a range, but you can put it as an advantage. Altogether it's expensive, and the last the preliminary cost and the initial cost, it's always high to put the robots in function. So if this question is of more than 2 marks, so you can write the other points, or even the 2 relevant points are enough. And that's all. Thank you so much. Inshallah, see you in next video. Bye bye.